You said something about politics and respectability earlier, but like look a certain way. What'd you say? It was so good. Poise.
Poise.
Black poise.
Tired or something.
And that has us in a chokehold. And like even for myself in this conversation, I have to check myself. Luckily, the nature is a safe space, but it's like I don't know where I'll land. So I'm gonna keep it cute on Tyler Perry during the show. I'm gonna keep it cute. I'm gonna keep it cute on Tyler. I'm gonna keep it cute on Kanye. I'm gonna keep it cute with because you know I don't have the. I don't know who's gonna be in my emails. Let me just. Kanye cool with me, huh? I got a pair of Yeezys and you ain't know, huh? You know what I'm saying?
Many things and feelings about Kanye West, but what I will say is that what's being challenged more than anything, outside the fact that gun violence is out of control, the world is at an all-time high in heat. There have been several heat waves. People are dying from heat. Pollution is through the roof. Ukraine is actively under war and siege. Like we have gone through many things as far as like world things that are going on. There's a black hole in the Milky Way. I don't know if you guys.
I didn't need to know that.
Two of them, by the way.
We can stop talking about.
14% of our species are endangered. Like it's a lot going on just in general that we just talking about pop culture, but outside of pop culture, the world is actually overheating. Right. It's getting hot in here. I want to take off all of my clothes.
I mean, it's November.
No, it's about, and here I am.
It's 62 degrees.
Yeah.
It's cleavage. It's cleavage. And so outside of all those things, what I do think, just one thing about what I think about Kanye West, and that's just he's a provocateur, and I think what's important about that, there's an art in provoking thought, and I think it's something that we do here in Femtime is we provoke people to think differently about what is going on. Like, do you want to just think in a particular way that's been given to you, or do you want to think outside of the box? And whether or not we like the boxes, or he doesn't even like boxes, he likes circles. You know what? And he wants to think within the circle or 360 or whatever. I think he is just a person who pushes people to think outside of what has been taught to them, whether that makes them uncomfortable or not. And I think that we should all get a little bit more comfortable with being uncomfortable to push ourselves outside of boxes.
Which would be okay. Okay, so I want to think about this, right? Remember we were talking about Will Smith and the slap? And most of us in the room was like, should have happened. But we kept saying, I don't know if y'all noticed this, everyone was like, but we're not condoning violence, but we're not promoting violence. We all know that we're not promoting violence, but what we're doing in that moment, because we know this is being filmed, is being responsible. Correct. It's okay to provoke thought. But my only issue is, and that's what I want to see in 2023, because we have experienced so much of people just like running their mouths on social media, on these platforms, in public spaces. I want more of us to be responsible for the people who tune into us, especially as platforms grow, especially as opportunities grow. Even people in this space that are growing their platforms, be responsible. Pay attention to the fact that your target demographic is expanding. It's not just the people that you wanted to tune into you, and pay attention to who is tuning into you. We have so many, like even like the musicians that are like, well, I'm not a role model, I'm not your child, and I hear you. But at the end of the day, they are part of your target demographic now. Correct. Be responsible for them. That's all.
And I think all of this. Go ahead.
No.
I think that all of this, everything that we've been talking about all comes together, where it's like parenting, where it's like when we were talking about Tyler Perry at one point, like their responsibility. I think as people, like people are just going to be people, like, and or even mental health. Like I don't necessarily know as a person who's going through a manic episode if they're concerned about responsibility. Like I don't know.
And that's different, yes.
And so like just as
but you're saying
no, but I'm just saying I'm literally, because I know like me personally, I've had people in my family who've had extensive manic episodes, and it's like I want you to. Okay, we've been dealing with this for quite some time, ready for you to snap out of it, and it's not like that. And it's this is life and death every day because you're irrational and you're not responsible right now. And I love you to pieces. And if I'm not here to be understanding or try to decipher in any way, you could lose your life.
So to be fair, because this literally happened last night,
What happened?
I don't even think you recognize it. But even if even if you can't be responsible for other people when you are in a position like that, we have to find a way to be responsible for ourselves, and that is easier said than done. Correct. I get that. Correct. Sometimes you just can't. But I know, so something that I'm going through right now, I am in my postpartum phase. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of emotions that come with that. I work so much, I have like maybe 5 minutes a week to tap into my emotions. But yesterday, I felt it so heavy that everything was just too much. I needed a second. I was just running on autopilot, and I did not want to do anything. And O wants me to come out to this event. And I'm like, I'm not in the mood to come out. So also I come home. I had just gotten my dog like this cute little crate that he chewed up. It's wood. That don't make no sense. And he pooped all through it. And sometimes it takes like the littlest thing for it to be like, all right, here we are on the other side. It's done. I can't. Like, I'm done. Cleaning out the cage, I could literally cry. Like, and I'm like, I don't want to go out and be around people. I am going to be the person that kills the vibe. I don't want to go nowhere. Mm-hmm. But I'm also not ready to have that conversation. So I'm just like, babe, I'm not in the mood to go out. You have a good time. I want you to have a good time. I'm going to stay here. And he's so much like you said, like, all right, it's been 2 hours. I've been talking to you through this. Like, come on. Like, you done now? Like, and I'm like, I haven't even begun. Like,
am I done?
And I don't want to put this on you.
Yeah.
I can't right now. I cannot. It ends up getting to the point where he's like, look, I really want to spend this time with you. I really want us to go out. I'm like, okay, I will go. I'm not going to lie. Had an attitude the whole time. Had an attitude in the car. Had an attitude when we met our friends. I meet a girl for the first time, and I have to literally remind myself to be like, oh yeah, hello. Like, we get in, we park our cars to take an Uber to the place because there's no parking. In the Uber, my friend is like just being funny with the Uber guy, like, so what music is this? But I'm like, can you let this man do his job? Like, damn, like he just trying to make a little money on the side, like, and get you asking all types of stupid questions. And it's my energy is just
Bronx.
Yeah, I'm getting New York. I'm getting New York.
And I felt bad after. And it's like, because everyone there knows me, they're not taking it personally. But I know that this is not what I want to share with you guys. Mm-hmm. We get to the place, I try to smile. I try to be like, oh, this is nice. Oh, hey, you know, like.
Mind you, I called this girl at probably like 9:30, and she's in the Uber on the way home.
And I was. Because literally it got to the point where I was like, I'm so sorry. I need to leave. Mm-hmm. Like, I need to go. And one of my other friends is like, what's up? Like, you finally outside. Like, back outside, boys. I'm like, this is boring to me. Mm-hmm. I want to go home. And he's like, and everybody around is having a great time. Like, everyone's smiling. Everyone looks good. The energy is dope. And I'm like, I cannot be here right now. Like, I can't do this. And before y'all really start to have a bad night, because I begin to just like really just be like, it's a lot of broke in here and nothing's going on. I don't want to like and start just doing all this.
Or
draw an impression of you that's not true based on this one day, and that'd be that's my whole thing. Like, yeah,
that's real.
Yeah,
I'm like, let me just leave. Let me go. Let me. And the moment that I smile the most is when I was looking at O's phone and my Uber was getting closer.
Praise God. Amen.
So I say that to say, you know, sometimes if we can, heavy on the if we can, we have to be responsible for ourselves, because before a lot of us go through episodes, we know what that starting point looks like. And we know that sometimes it's just time to isolate. And that's okay. We also need our friends and family to respect when we need to isolate.
I think we have to actually have an active conversation also about honesty. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I think about even myself. Whose honesty am I honoring through conversation or through relationship? And oftentimes you have to pick. And I think that's the problem a lot of times, right? Like, something small is like, do you like my outfit? In my mind, whose honesty am I going to honor? The fact that I don't like this, I don't like your outfit, or it's going to hurt you if I say I don't like your outfit, right? And so now I'm wrestling in my mind with, I don't really like this outfit, but I don't want to hurt your feelings, right? So I think we deal with ourselves, right? We're saying, I feel this way. I don't have good energy. I don't da-da-da-da-da. However, my partner wants to go. So whose honesty am I going to honor in this moment? And I think if we give ourselves the license to like honor our own honesty in a lot of ways, it becomes problematic sometimes, Kanye West, or it can become liberating you that night, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so it becomes this really interesting judicial space of like, who am I honoring in this moment? And I think a lot of us, especially for Black people, we are not in the habit of honoring our own selves because community, white supremacy, culture has not said you have this space or the room. A lot of us are in a constant state of survival or increase, right? I'm trying to get something I've never had before. And most of us, if not all of us, are in positions where we're trying to get things that have never been seen in our family history, right? Like, even I don't have a rich auntie or uncle to go to for Christmas. I don't have those kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? So if I get the things, I'll be the first in that lineage, and I'm not the only Black person who has that reality, right? So we're often in this perpetual cycle of more. So even when we have 5 minutes, it doesn't feel like 5 minutes because I'm still more. And I'm still like, who can I help? Who I need to be? How can I da-da-da-da-da? And then also, we carry the mantle of Blackness everywhere we go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't have the room to really like throw a fit or be whatever or be mediocre or da-da-da-da because I'm Black and I got to make sure that I'm holding it down for the culture when I go out this space. Look a certain way. You said something about politics and flexibility earlier, but like look a certain way. What'd you say? It was so good. Poise.
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 Black poise.
Black
Like
poise.
tired or something.
And that has us in a chokehold.